All right, it looks like we are live, and this is October 6th, 2015. Hopefully our feed will show up soon.
Comment if sound is good.
Yeah, let us know if the sound is good. We're trying out something a little special today, just a new microphone. Anywho, hopefully you guys will let us know if the sound is good soon. And we actually posted some questions, or posted some Facebook posts asking you guys for any questions about new PTS products or anything related to PTS in case you guys wanted to get it answered. Obviously, we have Greg, aka Spartan117GW, as a representative from PTS. Thank you for wearing the shirt.
Yep.
I was just Vanna Whiting the shirt, but
Hit skip.
what?
Hit skip ad.
Oh, okay, Mark. Okay. Anywho, so we're going to go over some of those questions right now. So, first of all, close the door, Mark. Second of all, why are the PTS Masada SVs being discontinued?
Okay, so any of the legacy Magpul products, basically when the license ended, anything that, basically all the molds, they basically got rid of all the molds and everything. So pretty much after that, anything that is currently in existence, that's all the Magpul PTS that's out there. So that's discontinued. But as we saw with the new Masada, the actual Masada platform and the PDR, it's still going to be existing in the PTS line. So even though the SV, the old legacy SV is done, doesn't mean that's the end of the actual Masada platform. So keep your eyes out for that.
Before we go on to other questions, we actually had someone else asking any new PTS ERGs on the way soon, the electric recoil series.
Those are definitely things that are in the works. Last time I checked, what was on the horizon, the Mega ERG, hopefully maybe some Centurion ERGs. Personally, for me, the ERG is like my favorite platform, specifically just because it's that perfect balance between a recoil platform. It's an AEG, so it's pretty consistent throughout the year, and it gives you, like I said, it gives you the feedback that you would get normally out of a gas gun. So it's just consistent, it's easy to use. I like it. It's one of my favorite platforms.
I'd agree with Greg. The PTS ERG is awesome. It's one of my favorite guns to shoot as well. I don't even care if I hit anybody. It's just fun to shoot. Really quick, Punisher 5000 is asking, can you do the Zombie War, please, again? We actually just made the tickets live for BB Wars Battlefront Zombies. Going to be up at GamePod Combat Zone on October 24th.
GamePod. Get
your tickets now on airsoftyout.com before the ticket slots run out. You won't want to miss out on that one because you're going to need an extra set of underwear because you're going to be scared poopless. All right, another question for PTS. We want Magpul back. It's more of a statement.
At the moment, Magpul will not be making a return to Airsoft yet. But, I mean, we're always talking to those guys, so you never know. But at the moment, they're not making a return back to Airsoft.
Roger that. Will you guys eventually make PTS sweaters?
Well, there's a lot of swag that I want to do. Like the shirts, that was actually something I brought to the company, the shirts and the new patches and stuff. So I'm always thinking about swag because I love swag. Hats, sweaters, those are things that I want. So you never know. So those things will probably be coming around in the future. But for right now, we just have the shirts and the patches and the stickers.
Any chance on a higher capacity ERG mag?
Let's see. Well, the ERG mag is more so designed for training, so that's why the 30 and the 60 round capacity is kind of like what we've been sticking with. Because other than that, we have the EPM mags. But if people want a mag with the same functionality with greater capacity, that's definitely something we can look into.
All right. In addition, let's see. What new products are you coming out with, and when will they get released?
Okay, so something that actually just came out recently, it's actually on this gun, is the enhanced polymer grip. We talked about it either a show or a couple shows ago. These are actually live. These are actually available now. So this is the compact, and then you have the standard version. It's got a really nice textured grip, and we have it available for gas and AEG. So
yeah, let me just show that a little closer so you can see the texturization.
And it's funny because the stock on that gun, the stock's not out yet, but we actually have two stocks. We got a slim, and then we have this stock coming. So that way, people who don't want as much bulk, will have a slim stock. But this is the standard configuration of the EPS or enhanced polymer stock. That gives you a lot of flexibility with battery storage options. And it's really comfortable for people who like the crane stock style. We also have, we'll get to this in a bit, but this is the Unity mount. It's kind of like the Lego mount of mounts in general. And we also have the Fortis grips that are on the way, and of course a couple other things that are further down the pipeline.
Well played, well played. Alrighty, let's see, other questions for PTS. Glock, high kappa slides, and parts. Are you making them?
When it comes to that series of sidearm, we are working on the Atom slide. So we've been working with Unity Tactical a lot. The Atom slide is a really cool, enhanced slide for that platform. So there is a new slide coming out, so keep your eye out for that.
Are all the PTS guns compatible with Polar Star?
See, well, right now, gun-wise, we have, the Masadas are, the AAG Masadas, the current AAG Masadas. The ERG, I've never seen anyone convert an ERG into a Polar Star because it's kind of, not to say redundant, but you might as well get like the old
well, they're two like completely
they're two
opposite.
completely different platforms.
Yeah, recoil or no recoil.
I've seen CQB Russian. He HPAs his mags for his Masada and his MKM, but when it comes to AG platforms, I mean, you can take any Masada and Polar Star it. So yeah, or PDR. I've seen PDR Polar Stars.
That looks pretty cool.
Those are pretty nuts.
Jason Horton, hey, I got a gun from you guys and you messed up my order. Well, first of all, really sorry about that. Second of all, hit up our customer service line as soon as you can. You know, we're all of us here at Airsoft Airsofters too, so we understand why that's frustrating when that happens. So hit us up as soon as you can, and we'll do everything we can to make it right. Our customer service line, I can't remember the top of my head, but if you go to airsoftja.com, it'll actually be at the top of the website. So yeah, if you can actually hit them up right now. They're still at work. If not, wait until you can wait until tomorrow. But they're there 5 days out of the week. So in addition, other questions are any PDR specific attachments that you're coming out with, like a flashlight for the front or a tune-up kit?
Currently, the only PDR specific attachment. Well, actually, we kind of have just released one that's, I guess you can say it's attachment. I posted a picture of it the other day. It's the carry handle for the FPG. But what's really cool is the height over bore for the FPG and the PDR in terms of like, because it's basically they're both flat top guns, basically the same. So if you're trying to give your PDR a really cool look, the carry handle, the PTS carry handle is actually available now. But it's basically a re-release of what was on the FPG. It's really cool, really compact, gives you a really nice way to use the gun. But in terms of flashlights and lasers, something we've been looking into. It's a good recommendation, but I'll pass along to the chain. But I think it'd be pretty cool because basically it has that hole in the front, so it'd be cool to give that extra functionality utility. I have seen people put lasers in there, put a little button on the side, which is really cool. But yeah, it's something that we'll look into.
From Brian Tang, I ordered twice from you guys and it took you guys at least 3 days to process my order, even though I used next day UPS shipping. Now here's the caveat to that, and sorry to interrupt you, Greg. If you have any issues, with processing or shipping, please again call our customer service line. However, it is important to note that if you do order on the weekend, our shipping department isn't, they're not working 7 days a week. So sometimes those orders do take over the weekend to get processed when they're not on a business day. During the week when we do have staff here, we do try and process as quickly as possible. But again, a lot of people do get confused that even though it's the weekend and our warehouse isn't open, that we can somehow process it, and that's not necessarily the case. So again, if there are any issues that you're concerned about or you're frustrated with, please call our customer service line anytime during the business week. So that'd be, let's see, I thought there was another PTS question.
I saw the one about the recommended upgrades for the MKM.
Mm-hmm.
Internally, bucking wise, maybe like a maple leaf bucking and stuff like that. I haven't seen too many mods out there. A lot of people tend to like the mod with the nozzles or like replace the bolt entirely with like I think it's a Rotec bolt or basically something that would give it more recoil, enhanced recoil. With the gas platform, it generally performs pretty good out of the box, but for me, I would probably shoot for more range and accuracy, so maybe like a maple leaf or like a Reaps bucking or something like that.
Someone was asking about the ERG Masada anytime soon?
Still work in progress, but that's something I'm excited about because I love ERGs, and ERG Masada would be a dream come true.
Yeah, you and me both. Brian Tang, no problem at all. I'm glad I can answer your question. Oh yeah, there was another question from Jake Thompson. Will any AGs come out of PTS in the $100 to $150 range?
Now, this is the interesting about PTS. All the companies out there, there's a lot of airsoft companies out there. Everyone's kind of got their niche. Sometimes they're a little more spread, a little more narrow. I mean, originally, PTS was just accessories, and then it kind of started branching into guns when Magpul started doing guns. And now that we've got more and more accessories and stuff like that, everything that we make is pretty much like tip of the spear, like super, it's all high-end stuff. It's not terribly cheap, but it's all really good quality products. So I mean, something I'm looking forward is maybe hopefully getting something that's in like the high 200s, low 300s range. But I mean, price is all dictated by manufacturing costs and everything like that. And of course, like everything that we make is all very, very high end. So
I was gonna say generally your stuff is you
yeah.
don't go for like the entry level quality. You guys usually go at least mid range or higher.
It's always been tip of the spear type stuff. Of course, there's a lot of great companies that make guns in the $100 and $150 range, like Lancer or G&G, or plus you can get like the GI custom guns that have a lot of great options too. Like the GI custom guns, though, that you basically they have like a nice polymer base, and like you can even get them with the PTS rails. Really good out of the box.
Yeah, essentially we have our G4 line, and the vast majority of those are custom guns that are put together by our tech department, and they're rather affordable considering they start with a polymer base.
Yeah. And you typically almost every single one comes with a very unique, very cool rail, and there's a lot of different options to choose from. So you have a myriad of different ways you can go.
Shoot, I thought I saw a good question there. Someone was asking if you guys are going to be releasing any G36 mags.
That's something we're looking at. Right now the EPM is doing pretty good. I kind of want to do an AK version. That would be pretty cool. But of course, right now the best AK mags that we make are the US Palm mags, which all the Milsim West guys, they say it works exceptionally in ENL-AK, which is pretty cool because ENL-AK is kind of like the premier AK right now. But I'm always looking to do like for us to do like other mags for other platforms too. But of course the G36 isn't like the most predominant platform out there. But in terms of other than M4 platforms, they're pretty common. So you never know.
Indeed. Let's see any other PTS related questions. Oh, tan GBBR gas blowback rifle Masada soon.
There's a plan to do that in Flat Dark Earth, so keep your eyes out.
Phoenix Teddy Airsoft. Hey Bob, sorry we couldn't make it to BB Wars episode 3. Sounds like you could have used our help. Yes, I could have. Would love to shoot Imperial Troopers with my new Inferno engine DMR. Awesome. Well, yeah, we'd definitely love to see you out an event Phoenix Teddy Airsoft. However, BB Wars Battlefront Flashpoint will be happening soon. I believe November 7th. So hopefully you're there. I'm hoping to make it out myself, but I'm still trying to figure out if that's going to be feasible with my own personal schedule. Okay. All right, so before we go any further, I'm going to go over some promos we got coming up. For those of you that are here, we actually have a mystery box that's going to be dropping tomorrow on October 7th at noon Pacific Standard Time. This is an Elite Force mystery box. It's featuring the limited edition G28 DMR, as well as a Polar Star Elite Force 416, actually multiple Polar Star Elite Force 416s and 4 CRLs. Other guns in this box include the M27 IAR, and HK416, HK417, HK MP7, and just make sure not to wait on this one if you know you want to get it, because there's a lot of cool guns in this box, and there's only 250 of these going out. So if you know you want it, get it as soon as you can. The price is $139.99, and it'd definitely be really cool to pay that low of a price and get a limited edition G28 or even like a Polar Star 416. That would be ridiculous. That'd be a ridiculous cost saving. So yeah, I would highly suggest getting on that. And again, the Elite Force Mystery Box drops tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time. Now, in addition, we have several BB Wars games coming up. Obviously, we had a BB Wars game this last weekend at Code Red Airsoft Park 2.0, which was sponsored by Classic Army USA. Thanks again, guys. We also have BB Wars coming up in Antioch in Northern California. That's BB Wars Battlefront Zombies. This is going to be a zombie game at GamePod Combat Zone. Probably the best place in the country, in my opinion, so far for a zombie game, because there's so many different things you can take advantage of there.
Beautiful. I went to basically the event last year. It was spectacular. Milsim Junkie was there too.
It was great. You guys were helping out, commanding the survivors until I don't think Milsim Junkie got bitten, but I know I got. Yeah, there was one part that was really fun to watch. Yeah. I can't make fun of you because I got bitten. Yeah, we all got slammed. Man, being the zombies, man, that was interesting. Well, that's the thing, is I actually brought out my Triple Lot design soft shell jacket, because I knew once I became a zombie I was going to be getting shot a lot. I don't have to worry about it, and there were several times where I just ran straight at the safe house and just got gunned down.
Yeah, pretty much got platooned.
Yeah, exactly. I had a platoon moment at BB Wars this last weekend, actually.
I will say it was really interesting. Those sticks, those staffs, were so effective at killing because you could poke.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like
it's like just like Walking Dead when they're at the fence and they're just poking all the zombies. With
it's a spear essentially. And I saw that and I was like, I wonder how that's going to work out. And that spear was really effective.
Melee weapons don't run out of ammo.
Oh yeah, someone was asking. I believe his Furry Penguin was asking if we ship to Ireland. Yes, we currently do ship to Ireland. Just hit that global checkout button. It'll tell you what we can and cannot ship to Ireland, and all any duties or taxes or fees. You'll know those ahead of time before you place your order, which is nice.
I thought it was cool that you guys started doing the international shipping, because I remember like a long time ago. Like you guys just did, U.S. But it's cool now that you can actually ship everywhere.
No, it is really nice. And again, I gotta reiterate, we don't ship to North Korea because they've been bad.
They've been bad.
Someone was asking if Levelcap Airsofts anymore. To be honest, and I think Greg will back me up on this, Levelcap is actually one of the hardest working guys I've ever met. Homie is pulling like 80 hours a week sometimes. So in all honesty, like I would say like a lot of it is just because he's working his butt off to try and get one video a day almost every day.
He's busy. He just started a new Lego channel, which is actually really cool.
The Brick Vault is awesome.
Brick Vault. And he has all these really awesome guests on his show. But yeah, he still has like at least 5 or 6 of his guns. He's saved his favorites. But you never know. Like if we reach out to him, you never know if he'll make it out to a game. So
yeah, hopefully he'll have time. But if you guys have time, head on out, check out the Brick Vault, especially if you love Legos. I was actually surprised he created that channel. But actually, on thinking about it, he is so into Legos. It totally makes sense.
A Lego blockade runner that's gonna be like.
Dude, I saw, and for those of you who don't know, a blockade runner is the Corellian Corvette you see in the opening scenes of Star Wars Episode 4.
Just the front was like this big.
Yeah, well,
the cockpit.
I saw just
bridge.
like the smaller version of the Corellian Corvette, and I freaked out because that's one of my favorite ships in the movie.
He's like,
come here,
one.
like look at this. It's like the cockpit is just this big, like in his garage. It's amazing.
He's got a Slave 1 in his garage too.
Hell yeah. Oh, BL Tech, what's up?
Well,
you remember BL Tech?
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand, they had that gun sound simulator. That's awesome. I will check my messages, BL Tech. Thank you.
That sound device. Awesome.
Oh, I know. It's so cool. It's so cool. I was so jealous when I saw him using it. Zach D, has the $1 million giveaway stopped? Yes, I believe the $1 million giveaway was concluded a little while ago. We have specials and promos running constantly. So right now, you can actually get... if you make an order over $60, you're going to get an Airsoft GI gift card, and you can also use that in conjunction with our $4.95 flat rate shipping, and that goes all over the lower 48 states. So you can get whatever size your order is for $4.95, it'll get shipped out to you at that flat rate. And if your order happens to be over $60, you're going to get a GI gift card. So that's essentially more money you can spend in the future with us. So speaking of that, I was talking about BB Wars Zombies, which is going to be a Game Pod Combat Zone on October 24th. If you want to get in on the best zombie game of the year, head on over to airsoftgi.com and get your ticket now before they sell out, because that's what's going to happen.
So those fog machines are nuts.
Industrial strength fog machines.
Bring your lasers, bring your fog.
I'm going to be duct taping lights to my body armor, because it helps. In addition, we've got a BB Wars game coming up in Texas on November 7th. That's going to be BB Wars Battlefront Flashpoint. That's going to be an epic game, especially since D14 has consistently been adding more and more stuff to their field, including a refinery.
They had a refinery?
Well, I mean, it doesn't look exactly like a refinery, but that's what they're calling it for game purposes, but it looks actually very similar. In addition, we have BB Wars Episode 4 Final Assault. This will actually be the final battle that we've been referring to for the BB Wars campaign of this year. Now, that doesn't mean BB Wars is ending. It just means that this is going to be the decisive battle for the campaign that will decide who is the overall winner of the campaign this year. And that's going to be in Virginia at Ballahack. We've been waiting to go back to Ballahack. Greg is very familiar with it.
When is that happening?
That is November 21st and 22nd. Greg was at Tim vs. Bob 4.5.
Yeah, that back in the day.
That was a hell of a good game. And
oh my god, that's probably one of the most memorable games ever.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. That is definitely up there at the top for favorite games I've ever even participated in.
That was just nuts.
And Greg actually pulled a fast one on both me and Tim. He bought 2 tickets where you bought a ticket for each team both days. So me and Tim were like looking at the thing. We're like, no, Greg's on my team. Then I was like, no, Greg's on my team. And he bought tickets for both. So that was pretty funny.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. Oh man. Okay. Let's see if there are any other PTS or Airsoft related questions. Zach D, why don't all GI customs come with the attachments they are shown with? Now, a fair majority of the GI customs do come with the attachments they are shown with. When you see photos that have other attachments, there will be multiple notes in the description saying, hey, just so you know, these don't come with the guns. However, we do like to dress them up how, a lot of us in the marketing or the graphics department would want to play with them, so you have an idea of how you can customize it further, just to make it look as cool as possible using, what you'd normally use for Airsoft. So that's why there are photos like that.
It's an elaboration of the imagination.
Yeah, exactly. And we always make notes as clear as possible in the description, just so you guys know that, you know, some of the stuff on there doesn't come with it. However, a lot of our customs are set up with optics, with accessories that do come with it, and those will be clearly noted in the description. Okay. Hope you make
bed covers.
What's that?
I saw the bed covers one.
Oh.
That was funny.
Are the PTS mags worth the money? Now, I would think Greg would say yes. Correct?
Indeed.
Now, I'm going to say yes, too, because there is actually a very specific test we did with them because I was curious myself if I was going to get some. And the test we did is we ran them through Mark's gun. Now, Mark techs a lot. He has a very high rate of fire. I think you'd agree.
Yes.
Obscenely high.
Rate of fire.
So if they could feed into Mark's gun, then they're worth the darn money. And they fed flawlessly. So
it's interesting too, is the price actually dropped. Like, because originally they were $24.99, now they are $19.99. So the price went down, which is crazy because I remember like back in the day when I got my first Generation 1 PTSP mags, they were $28. Oh my god! But now, yeah, they're like $20 and not bad, and they got extra functionalities. Made a good DuPont Zytel, so. Yeah, those things are pretty damn durable. No,
they are pretty darn awesome. I definitely wish I had more of them. Actually, PTS mags are the best out there. That was a comment. Oh shoot, I lost the name. I saw a good question. Bob, going to Op Irene this weekend. Any tips? Yes, DOA100. And if you have any tips, feel free to jump in. Make sure you read the warrant order very closely. That's a very important thing for Op Irenes, whether they're at Muscatatuck or if they're at Fort Knox. I don't know exactly what the pyro is going to be like. I definitely like to have electronic ear pro now that I've been using it. Lately, for an op like that, I've actually gotten more in the habit of wearing a helmet instead of just a baseball cap, so I would suggest that. Yeah, mid caps are priority. Make sure you square away and double check all of your gear. Make sure your guns are as functioning as they can be. I would just say make a checklist, check it twice, whether or not you're nice. Do you have any suggestions for preparing for an op, Irene?
2 is 1, 1 is none.
He's talking about guns.
If you have something, have a backup. Battery, gun, grip, whatever it is. A lot of fighting in an urban area is going to be building to building, and then it's going to be room to room. Typically, you don't. I mean, people will fight outside of the building, but then they get killed off pretty quick too. So you're going to be basically, it's like if it's going to be in urban areas, there's going to be a lot of building to building and room to room. So checking your corners, controlling hallways, controlling areas like that. It's going to be pretty important. Hopefully, you and your team are on the same page. It's tough. It's complicated. You basically just get thrown into the mix. But at the end of the day, have fun.
I would agree. The American SMG commented, hey Bob, those Riot shields at PE, I didn't see the last name of it, murdered us. I'm not sure what you mean by PE, but I assume you mean Code Red at the game we had this last weekend. Yeah, and I got to tell you, the American SMG, I take full responsibility for it. That was my call. I had several folks come up to us begging actually to use their Riot shields, and in all honesty, the Riot shields I saw were probably the coolest I'd seen ever at an event. So I was kind of compelled to maybe let them use it for one round. And I was actually telling Greg this earlier today, is that I honestly did not realize that all of the guys with Riot shields were on the Imperial team, because that would have very much affected my decision. I might have said hey, only one of you guys can use it, or hey, you guys are gonna have to switch off, because it does kind of stink when you make something really cool for an event and then get there and you can't use it like that. I understand, because I play. And that stinks. So, I was trying to thread the middle ground of making everyone happy, and I made a mistake of just not realizing.
Did it have a big Imperial logo on the shield?
No, it didn't. It didn't have an Imperial logo on it. There were 2 plexiglass ones that said "back off," which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
There was another one that was partly made out of wood with a plexiglass top and then a grating on the bottom. So all the Riot shields looked really neat, and I don't know why I didn't think that they were all in the Imperial team, because that would have sincerely affected my judgment. And I felt really bad because my team paid for my poor decision. So I am really sorry. Both the American SMG.
Must have been pretty cool to watch, though.
Yeah.
Did they so they came in from different directions, or did they link up and do the Spartan thing?
They didn't link up. That would have been very interesting.
Got interlock when you got multiple shields.
Because we actually the rules were if you hit the Riot shields, it's not like it stops the rockets. Like if it directly impacts the riot shield,
if-
you and 5 feet behind it, whoever's there, are all dead.
So basically, it's good for against small arms, but not for like
Rockets or grenades, yeah. What happened is basically they split up the riot teams. The riot teams went right side, another riot team went left side, and the third one went down the middle. And then we're getting it rocketed down the middle. That was very difficult. It was tough to get by. However, the Airsoft Ninja was doing good work taking out those riot teams when he could.
Yeah.
All right. Bob and Greg, Polar Star or AEG?
The performance of Polar Star is absolutely exceptional. For me, I guess you could say maybe I'm a traditionalist, but I've always liked having the completely self-contained platform. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of an AEG guy, but I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with the performance of your typical Polar Star. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just looking at the competitive aspects of a Polar Star, I mean that's gonna outweigh a lot of the aspects of an AEG. However, for me personally, I cannot say enough how much I like feedback in an airsoft gun. So I'm 9 times out of 10 gonna go with an AEG.
Or gas gun.
Yeah, or a gas. Yeah,
You've been known to use a lot of gas guns.
I mostly use gas guns because I like the realistic manipulation and I like the feedback you get. The recoil is more realistic, and again, that's one of the reasons I like the ERG, the PTS ERG electric recoil gun, because it is an AG, but it has recoil that is very similar and comparable to a gas blowback rifle.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about as much fluctuation with gas.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about temperature fluctuation, FPS fluctuation. It's a lot easier to use. You don't have to refill the mags every time you're done with them. Loading the mags is easier. So there's a lot of ease of use that goes with having an ERG over having a gas blowback rifle. However, gas blowback rifles are still really fun.
Yeah, pretty hard to deny that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see if there are... someone was asking what happened with a certain player. Does he still work with you guys? Folks, I'll let you know pretty honestly. Like, when players get sponsored by a competing store, there's nothing we can do. We honestly have to work within the bounds of of competition, and we'd be really excited to see him at a separate event. But hopefully we can get as many people into the BB Wars saga as possible. I know Greg has actually been able to come out for the zombie game and a few other ones. I was actually really excited. I think for the zombie game, didn't you have like a tracer unit on your gun?
I had a flashlight.
Oh,
a big flashlight.
Maybe I was thinking of Assault on Antioch.
Okay, no, I had the muzzle flash generator.
Okay, because I saw your tracer BBs going everywhere on that one. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Yeah. Greg, what's the best chest rig?
Halo Strategic D3 CR.
Haley Strategic D3 CR.
Yep. Very adaptable, very solid platform, well made. Developed originally by Extreme Gear Labs, and then then Haley Strategic adopted it and became their primary platform.
Good talk. All right. Now, Greg, what is your military rank?
E5 Sergeant.
Nice. What type of BBs do you use, Bob and Greg?
Yeah, it fluctuates. I've used the Elite Force BBs before. I've used the KW, KSC BBs before. I've used the Vulcans. They've all been pretty good. I mean, for some people are really particular about which BBs they use. For me, it's just like, does it work? Does it shoot? Does it hit the people? Okay, I'll use that. Performance-wise, some companies maybe have less or more imperfections than others. The KWA, KSC BBs, those have always been really, really good. They're not as big as some of the other ones. I think their diameter is a little bit smaller, but that also kind of makes them a little less prone to jamming as well. But because every company's got BBs now, but I think there's only so many factories that make them. So
yeah, there are a limited number of factories that do manufacture BBs. Personally, for me, I usually fluctuate between KWA, KSC Perfect BBs, or Elite Force BBs, or RG 4-line of BBs here at Airsoft GI. I usually go through those three. Honestly, I was stuck on KSC, KWA Perfect BBs for a long time because Tim told me when he used to work here, he's like, Bob, you know, those KWA guns are designed to actually work specifically.
That's what they're tested with. That's
yeah.
What they're using.
Well, they're also, I guess they design their barrels and the BBs in mind with a similar tolerance, which makes them less prone to jam.
Yeah.
And he told me that. I was like, you're full of crap. And I can't remember what the other BBs I used were, but then my KWA pistol jammed from using those BBs, and I was like, oh shoot. And then I tried the KWA BBs and it performed flawlessly.
Yeah.
So
that's what they're tested with.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Crytek's got BBs now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Falcon's got BBs now. G&G's got always had BBs. Yeah, there's a lot of
ASG's
different
got
choices out
BBs,
there.
yeah.
A lot of different choices out there.
No, there are definitely a lot of options, and I would definitely say try out a bunch and see what works best for you guys. Shout out from New York. Stephen C. and New York are getting the shout outs approved. This is actually an interesting question. I feel like you're going to say PTS because you worked with them, Greg, but you've had a chance to fire both TM recoil rifles or PTS recoil rifles.
I actually have a TM Scar. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
It's very expensive, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Super expensive. So, interesting story. The recoil system between the both platforms are similar because the guy who basically designed the TM recoil system ended up getting moved over. They nabbed him, and he ended up working for EKI, which does a lot of the OEM for all the PTS guns.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the ERG is more or less kind of like a super heavy duty, super robust version of the TM system, because the TM system, it's only designed to shoot 300 some FPS.
If you go over
theoretically, you can put more springs and more power behind it, but that's what's designed to be used for. But then you come to America where the FPS tolerances are greater. It's like, well, now you can really, if you're building for that market, you can really put some heavy duty parts in there and give it some extra kick. So they're both great. Of course, I love the ERG. The Scar, the TM Scar is really, 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 really fun. I think I had a video where I got like 9 kills in like a few seconds. It was great. That thing's a lot of fun to use.
Bob, will Airsoft GI Store and BB Wars ever come to Canada? I'm hoping so in the very near future. It's actually been a pet project of mine for a while to try and throw a BB Wars event in Canada, because I've been to Canada a few times and my experiences have always been really awesome. I've worked with Canadians before. They've also been awesome. And I've also had a bunch of my military friends deploy with Canadians, and they have had nothing but great things to say about the Canadian Armed Forces. So I definitely would like to, and as soon as we could publicly announce something that we are, believe me, you'll be hearing it from me first.
Mind if I talk about this for a second?
No, I absolutely do mind. Go ahead.
Cool. So you guys may be wondering what this is I've been playing with. It's actually on the gun that I'll show you as well, but this is actually coming out hopefully at the end of the month. It's the Unity Tactical Fusion. It's basically a Lego mount, and what's kind of cool is that you have this one base, and I've kind of, in a way, kind of overbuilt this one because I just threw everything on it, but just so it gives you an idea of a bunch of different ways that you can use this. So it gives you the ability to, you can add extension pieces to it, offsets, if you have an RMR, this and then the other. The base itself, I mean, even the backup sight can be removed completely, and you have this base that you can just build and design wherever you want. You can put a D-balls on here, and it's great because it gives you so much flexibility, and it comes with a 1-inch light mount, and it also has this offset that I have this light on, which is pretty cool. So it has this little more extended offset that goes onto the hub itself, and it's really cool because I've used something similar in the past, like the Haley Strategic offset mount, and that's like $100 something, something like that. This whole thing with that other mount, like all the different pieces, and like I said, right now it's just super built up right now, but you can take all these pieces off and go down to the bare bone base. But it's pretty much like half the price of that with all these extra pieces. So, like for example, if you have a short gun, you need extra rail space, or maybe you only have one top rail, but you want to add some extension pieces on there, or you need a really cool backup sight, but you also want to mount offset for like something else. This will pretty much do it all. Now, Unity Tactical has been really on tip of the spear with designing stuff that's very cutting edge for the shooting community. They're the ones that are also working on the 3D GoPro thing.
Oh yeah.
Or the whole, just the recording the GoPro thing, which is pretty sick. Did I say 3? Yeah, well, I think maybe they have 3 thing, but it's just really cool. They've been really cutting edge, and I like this because this one I have a much cleaner setup on here. So this is just the mount with the just the one offset hub, and like I said, you can build it up as much as you want. But it's great too because it comes with a really nice, really good, very functional backup sight, and of course it comes with the mount and the mount base. And for me, this is actually a really nice setup. I have it on the Fortis rev rail here with the Fortis angle grip, which is coming out pretty soon. It creates a very, very nice little grip there. But
no, it's very comfortable. That setup, it's very intuitive. Like once you put your hands on it, it's just very secure.
Yeah, and these are all basically made out of CNC aluminum. It's all anodized, and it's definitely exceptionally well done. I was actually very impressed when we got the first samples in. I was like, wow, this looks exactly like the real one, but it's definitely not like $200-300. Yeah, but I think the estimated MSRP is around like 60. So for what all you're getting with all the functionality it has, that's a really good deal.
No, I would agree with that. It's always definitely good to get things for an affordable price. Phoenix City Airsoft. Hope you make it, Texas Bob. I have a new, fresh, clever cleaver to duel you with. Awesome. Well, that's dope. I'm definitely a fan of melee weapons, so heck yeah. Can people in the UK order from GI? Absolutely, Geth Abbott. If you hit our global checkout button, it'll actually show you what you can and cannot get. It'll actually, if there's something we can't legally ship you, it'll ask you to take it out of the cart, but the vast majority of our inventory we can ship you. It'll also let you know of any duties, taxes, or fees ahead of time before you place your order, so that's not a surprise on the back end. I always hated that when I would buy from overseas, well before any of the big airsoft stores were here. It would just really stink when it's like it gets here and it's like $100, $150.
Yeah.
Like, ah.
Either that or customs has gone through it. And just
yeah.
oh, what is this? This looks interesting, and then it's all messed up.
Okay, let's see.
Fort Bragg. Yeah,
great. Oh, you saw that?
Oh yeah. I was stationed at Fort Bragg for a while, so interesting place. Probably one of the biggest bases the Army has by population. It's huge. It's like a city basically. Yeah, it's a cool place.
Hey Bob, can you give me and my buddies an approved shout out from Portland, Oregon? Curtis Hellier, Luke Horstman, and Typhoon Tactical. Your shout out is approved. As well as Jack Comfort's shout out, which is approved. Also, what is your favorite AEG and why? KWA versus Crytek internals. Wow, that's a tough one. We don't have much time left, so I'm just going to ask Greg and I to go over some of our favorite AEGs and why. And it's a very interesting question because I don't necessarily focus on the internals as much as I focus on how much fun a gun is to play with out of the box. I really like a good
stock gun.
Yeah, a good stock gun. That's just, I guess, always the way I've played airsoft. I want something that's not very much hassle, just a lot of the fun right when you get it. And again, that's why I know PTS is here. My answer would be very similar, even if they weren't. I really like the PTS ERG because it gives me the best of both worlds. I have an AEG that's easy to use, and I have a lot of recoil. I do like the KWA KM4s. Those are a lot of fun because they're really robust internals.
I had an SR7 for the longest time.
Yeah.
That was a great 10-inch little carbine. I used it in Japan. I was wrecking people with it. It was great. That was a really good gun. I've used the Crytek CRP. That's a good gun as well. To say which one's better, it's hard to say. Because it's one platform's been around for longer. But the Crytek's definitely been performing pretty good.
And they do have a lot of features on them as well.
And it kind of depends what you're looking for too. Like if you're like him and you want that intimate experience with the feedback, then of course the recoil gun's gonna be what you're gonna go with. But if you don't care about the recoil at all, then most of the top tier end AEGs will do it for you. Yeah.
Recently, I've actually been using a Crytek SPR as my go-to AEG for a while now, and out of the box, which is one of my big things, it has been performing flawlessly. I haven't had any issue with it. It's just been great. I actually used it at Copperhead, and it was a lot of fun. I would definitely highly suggest the Crytek line as well. I'm actually kind of keen on getting one of their PDWs.
Oh yeah, I saw those. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. I keep telling Tim they should put their new light machine gun in a movie or something because it just looks so futuristic looking.
It does, yeah.
That's something that should be in Starship Troopers.
When I first saw it, that's exactly what I said. It looks like a Starship Troopers mini age
there's
or
so
mini
many movies
LMG.
that are doing contemporary. You see Transformers, right? They're just modifying weapons to look like anti-transformer guns, but they're basically just highly dressed up regular weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Be perfect in it.
Bob and/or Greg, I'm getting a Walther P99 CO2 blowback sidearm. How do I pick a holster?
situation dictates, but
Did you fart a tiny bit?
Nope.
That would have been hilarious. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, situation dictates. It depends what kind of holster you want. First, right hand, left hand, whether you want like a bail on it, but there's less options for some with like Walthers and stuff, like 1911s and Glocks. There's everything out there, but I don't know, pick one that's simple, that works.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to suggest something, since P99s, you know, that can be a hard holster to come by, there are a lot of universal holsters out there that will fit that gun, and I mean, that's actually what I started with when I first got into airsoft for a sidearm, is I got a universal holster that was adjustable to fit multiple different sidearms, because I'm a cheapskate and I just wanted to buy one holster to work with a variety of sidearms.
Oh, like a universal holster?
Yeah, you know, the ones you can adjust with Velcro. Like, usually they sell them in
yeah.
drop leg configurations or hip configurations, but I would suggest getting, you know, a drop leg holster that is adjustable to fit a variety of pistols.
That's a good way to start out with a universal holster. It's cheap, it's affordable, you can use anything with it. Once you want to get to something higher level, more advanced, and a little bit more just cutting edge, then Kydex or something else that's a little more form-fitting is where you want to go.
No, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can get like a Kydex holster for a gun, it's generally more beneficial, and it's going to be a cleaner draw for your sidearm. Poop Guy, shout out. Excuse me. Sorry, it's just such a funny name, Poop Guy. Poop Guy, your shout out is approved. Oh yes, Zach D was asking about a concept gun builder. I believe earlier it was just, I think you're just asking, you know, about, you know, having some sort of gun builder on the website.
There's a Gunstruction does stuff like that. It's not airsoft, but it's
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Gunstruction. Look up Gunstruction.
It's an interesting idea. You know, I will forward that up the chain of command.
Oh, you guys should. Oh, yeah, that'd be so cool.
Okay. This is confusing. Hey, Bob or Greg, what is a good pistol for sidearm AEG?
Okay, basically, yeah. What's a good sidearm?
Yeah.
Blade Force 1911's solid gun. You just gotta make sure you lube it and take care of it. Yeah. You just gotta take care of it.
You're really just leaving it wide open for jokes there.
Yeah.
Elite Force 1911 is a great gun. It shoots above a CQB limit, though, so, you know, that's better for outdoor or at least a field with a 400 feet per second
Shoots
limit.
about 350 something.
Most of the ones I've seen shoot around 360 to 375.
I mean, it's a pretty common sidearm. The reason I say lube it is because it uses CO2. You don't have any natural silicone to lube the gun as it's being used, so you do have to just make sure you take a little bit extra care of it.
No, it's just your phrasing was too funny.
Yeah.
I would also suggest the KW Mark series or the KW 1911 Mark series. Those are great guns and very accurate out of the box.
I remember when those came out.
Oh, that's awesome. The KWA HK45 is a gun I've been using a lot lately because some people refer to it as a primary that's actually a sidearm, and that's just because it holds like 28 rounds.
Which one?
The HK45. And the grip is contoured, so it's actually so comfortable. It feels like it's an extension of my hand or of my arm.
I wonder if they're going to do an airsoft version of VP9. They probably will. Maybe we'll see that at SHOT Show or something.
Sorry, some people are commenting back, and it's hard to tell what they're commenting about. Let's see. All right. Well, we'll try and get a few more questions before the end of the show. Let's see. Hey, Bob and Greg, down with the Rebels. And shout out, please. And you shot my hand. Okay. All right. Well, David Zoom 41, your shout out is approved. Let's see here. All right. Hey, Bob, what is the best gas blowback rifle, and what GI store do you work at, and how long? I actually work at the corporate office for GI. That's where we have, you know, our warehouse, our shipping and purchasing department, as well as our marketing department and other aspects of the company. Sometimes I actually step on over to the store to deal with you know, any work I need to. So we actually work near the Walnut, California, the West Coast walk-in store. Was there another part of that question I missed? Oh, best gas blowback rifle. In my opinion, you know, I've had the best time and most reliable time with the KWA LM4. For the money, I think that's probably your best option if you want something reliable as well as functional that shoots pretty darn far. Your opinion, Greg?
Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up between that one and like the WeTech M4. The WeTech M4 has actually come a long way. But, I mean, I've always been more of an LM4 guy. You have the LM4, you have the Mega, and then you have the the new Masada that just came out, which the trigger reset is awesome. So if you know anything about shooting, trigger reset, really, really good on that gun. But the Mega is a really nice platform. It's basically a upgraded external LM4.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what it is. Yeah.
On it.
I've just with the WeTech M4s, the only times I've ever seen them and this is just personal experience. I mean, I'm sure some of you may have had different experiences, but with the WeTech M4s, most of the times I've seen, like, unless you put like $200 into it, there's a lot of issues.
They do hate to have some upgrades. I think with Dylan up north, who plays a GamePod, Soap. From DevTech, yeah, he uses a WeTech, I think 416 or
he uses a WeTech 416, and he talks about it like it's his second child, although he hasn't had a first child yet, so whatever.
It is his first child.
Yeah, it is his first child. That's what I should have said. But the thing is, like, he swears by it and all this stuff, but it's like, how much is he putting in the gun? Like $800. So it's like, dang
he put the right parts in it for sure.
He did. No, he's definitely tuned that.
For a stock gun, your LM4 is a really good platform. Also good for training. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know who Jerry Mikulik is, right?
Absolutely. Big forearms.
So, fun fact, fun story, kind of side note, but it kind of relates to Airsoft. His son-in-law, who manages his social media, also happens to be in the Jurassic Park motor pool. So he and I were both tasked to, like, do some motor pool stuff, and through talking to him, I guess he and Jerry want to meet up at SHOT Show.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's gonna be
that's cool.
And they're looking at Airsoft.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yes.
Actually, that was one of the few people that I wanted to meet at SHOT Shows last year, and I fangirled a little bit. I had him sign a hat for me.
Well, they actually had him at, like, the Nissan thing right next to the PTS.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
That was exceptional. That was awesome. It was like, oh, look, there he is. Let me just walk 10 feet, and there he is.
Yeah, no, I found his YouTube channel this year, and he's such an interesting shooter to watch.
Yeah. Oh, he's so fast. So fast.
Unbelievably fast.
Talented. I was wondering where the heck they got that Explorer from, but yeah, it's his son. They wrote that off on Texas. It's hilarious. Man, well, Explorers aren't that much.
No, of course not. Someone actually did have a question earlier about the Jurassic Park motor pool. However, I know since you didn't want to talk about it, I just bypassed that question. So, if you guys don't know, Greg is doing this new thing called Cars Playing, not cosplaying, Cars Playing, where he actually bought a Jeep. Was it Jeep Wrangler?
Yep, Jeep Wrangler YJ Sahara Edition.
Very specific. Yeah. And then he actually painted it up to look just like the Jurassic Park Jeeps from the Jurassic Park motor pool. Having a fun time with it?
Oh, yes.
I noticed you've been getting photos on your Instagram of girl after girl sitting on the hood or sitting inside.
Yep.
Well played, Greg. Well played. If you're gonna get a car like that, you might as well use it.
Buy a Jeep. Buy a Jeep, kids. Buy a Jeep.
The prices for Jeep Wranglers are actually going up because of Jurassic Park, from what I've heard.
Yeah, the Sahara, even the old YJ Saharas, people are selling them on Craigslist, marketing them as the same Jeep. I mean, because it is the same Jeep from Jurassic Park, but the value's gone up because people realize what type of Jeep it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if you want to...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, in-game 808, if you're having any issues with your EPMs, like, we're working out a couple upgrades for the Gen 2, but if you do have issues, we do have replacement internals on our website if you want to replace them. But yeah, go ahead and check that out, ptssyndicate.us. But yeah, we're working on some Gen 2s, just because it's always good to come out with the next version.
Mm-hmm. This will be the last question of the day from Stephen C. Are flip-up iron sights worth it, or should I just pick up a red dot sight? I'm going to go to you first, Greg.
Well, if you get your red dot shot out, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, that's the whole point behind the backup sights, is that it's if your main optic goes down or something else, an issue happens, like where it just falls off.
Well, there's also another reason, too. Even though I have my red dot on my rifle, if I'm looking over the gun, the first thing I see is the front sight post. Even if it's up, and even if it's co-witnessed with the red dot, all the better. Like, I do not mind fixed front sights, because in CQB, it's a fairly accurate reference point. You can do what is used to be known as shooting in the notch, where if you had your rear sight up and you didn't have this here, all you would have to do is just generally, roughly place the front sight post above the rear sight. And height over bore in CQB, that's point of aim, roughly point of impact. But yeah, in CQB, I mean, if you're just not just doing natural point of aim, which most people can do, you literally can place the front sight post on them and squeeze, and you're going to hit them inside CQB distance. And it's a pretty accurate way. Like, I do that when I do reflexive fire at the actual range if I'm not using a dot. Like, if I don't have a dot, that's what the technique I'll use, and it works really good. And like I said, because it's up, that's the first thing you see before typically is if your head's like above. But yeah, Just depends how you shoot.
I think Greg answered that about as well as I can. So we're actually going to end the show right there. Thank you so much for those of you that stayed tuned. I appreciate you watching. And if there's any comments or any topics that you would like us to go over for next week's show, please leave them in the comments below. Let us know what you guys would like to explore. Any different topics in Airsoft, from sniping, from preparation to events, to anything, please leave it in the comments below. And make sure to check us out on all of our social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. And make sure to follow PTS on all those social medias as well. And check out Greg on Spartan117GW, his home YouTube channel. Once again, I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand. This is Greg Wong, a.k.a. Spartan117GW. This has been the GITV Live Show. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Trying to figure out how to turn this off. Bye. Bye-bye.